Iridium, it's my great pleasure to welcome back the crew, the Idiots, Jam and Dominic. I did that by mistake, actually. I did actually mean to say Idiots. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, whatever.
No, honestly, you're far from idiots. Let me tell you that now. I'm more of an idiot than you, without a doubt. So, all killer, no filler. We actually made it through the 90s. We're up to 2000. Interesting year for me. Seems to be getting a bit better for me. Easier. Jan was just saying beforehand, this was quite a hard one for him. It just depends what you like, doesn't it? You know, it's just the 90s can be some of the best times for people, and then it can be the other way around. How do you find it, Dom, quickly before we start?
I fucking love my list so much I can't even tell you. I have so much great shit to talk about, and I've kind of purposely ignored bands that I would normally talk ad nauseum on this channel about, because I want to get some fresh blood in there. So
yeah, I'm trying to do that.
I truly love everything on this list.
Cool. I mean, I'm trying to do that as well, and I think when the future years come, especially like the more recent ones, I'll definitely be able to like switch it around, like big style. So big style is a bit hip, isn't it?
Big style.
I think we're getting a bit hip.
Yo.
So I've got to bore you though to tears with the rules of the game. So all killer, no filler, total frustration. We're up to the year 2000s. So obviously every release has to come off of the year 2000. So we have to pick an albums. We can't repeat an album. We can't have 2 tracks off an album. And also the track listing has to match the original track listing of the release. That's about that. That's all covered, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you really mastered this.
No, I think I've fucking done it. I've done it.
Just like maybe 15 seconds. It's great.
I've done it to death, mate. That's what I've done. I've done it to death. So we are only at 10 tracks, by the way, still. But we've obviously got our honourable mentions. So that you know, we can go for that as well. So track 1 on the even numbers is Jam.
It is.
So what you got then, mate, for your 2000 track 1?
Okay, we're going to go to someone who hasn't featured for a very long time now, and that is Bon Jovi with the 2000 album, obviously, Crush. And it's track 1, It's My Life. Very, very pop rock at this point, of course, but this song's pretty cool because it's sort of got the voice, you know, the voice tone thing like they do on Living on a Prayer. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's got that sort of feel to it. Obviously, it's not quite as heavy as Living on a Prayer, and it's just a radio-friendly rock track from Crush, which was okay. Not a bad album. I'm not a massive Bon Jovi fan at this point, but I like the song. I was going to be really cool and try and switch it around and put something a bit heavier in there, and then I thought, no, fuck it, I'll just put in what I was going to put in. So, you know, I could have gone with listen to a few tracks with a different band I won't mention, and but I said, no, I'm going to go with Bon Jovi. There you go. It's My Life.
Why not? To tell you the truth, I mean, I think this could be the last time, and I haven't followed Bon Jovi religiously. Like I loved them in their heyday in the 80s, but I think this was the last track I heard where it was reminiscent of what they were, sort of. Yeah. You know, that catchy sort of pop rock that they'll pop.
Yeah, it's definitely got it's got a Living on a Prayer vibe to it, this song. I don't know if it's a sequel to it or not, because I don't know if that was on purpose, but it might be.
Yeah, very catchy indeed.
Well, I think so, because he even says, for Tommy and Gina, they never back down. So obviously that's Tommy and Gina from Living on a Prayer.
Of course, yeah.
Very cool indeed. We won't even mention Bon Jovi now. I'm sure we won't mention him in the real recent years, but we might do. You never know. You never know.
A couple more.
We like what we like.
Count Jam out, man.
No, he does surprise us. So just like you do, Dom, with your choices. So what's your track 1 then, mate?
My track 1 was an exciting time. This was Megadeth released a best of called Capital Punishment. The first 2 tracks were new tracks, and the first one, Kill the King, boy, it was a return to form after Risk and Cryptic Warnings. This just took no prisoners. It's even heavier than anything off Euthanasia, I would expect. Both of the tracks are really good. The second one is Dread and the Fugitive Mind, and that ended up on their next album. But this was their end of their Capitol Records contract. So it was kind of they asked for 2 new tracks, so that this is the one they gave them. But Kill the King is the only appearance that it's ever been. But man, what a great Megadeth song! Really good. And I'm afraid, you know, it's new track on a best of, and if you're a fan, you probably didn't want to buy a best of just for 2 new tracks. So maybe some people haven't really heard this, but woo boy. If you love Megadeth, at least put this on YouTube or something and check it out, because it is really, really fucking good.
Cool.
And this is one of the plus points about things like Spotify, isn't it? That you can now add them 2 tracks.
Yeah.
You don't sell out 10 quid for a CD just to get, you know, the new track or whatever. So yeah, excellent. I definitely recommend this for Megadeth fans. If you're a huge fan, you probably know it, but maybe if you're just kind of a medium fan, you don't. But this is them at really kind of not quite rest in peace, but I would say at least countdown to extinction period.
Very cool. And that's the cool thing about the All Killer, isn't it? And sometimes you can pick those gems off of a best of, as long as it's the first time it appears on an album, because sometimes you can have original songs like that's a perfect example. We've all done it, I think.
I may have more than one of those.
Yep.
Ah, very nice indeed. Good. Okay, great. This ain't exactly Megadeth. It's quite close. Journey. So,
right on.
It's their 11th album, and it's with I think you pronounce it Steve Algeri, but I'm not exactly sure. It could be Algeri.
I believe it's Algeri with a hard G. Yeah.
So this is his first album with Journey. Such an underrated singer and album for me. I thought he just fitted in perfectly. He could even sound more like Steve Perry than the
Trial by Fire.
No, the other guy, the new one.
Oh, yeah.
What's the matter with me today? You know what I mean, don't you? What's his name? Little
something. Arnell.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, everyone goes on about Arnell sounding like Steve Perry.
He's such a charismatic singer that we can't even remember his name.
No, I do actually love Arnell. It's just sometimes I'm old and I just go blank. But all Jerry is just, I mean, some of the performances live you hear as well of him at that time. Such a shame that he didn't last long. I think he's brilliant. So this was off Arrival, and the first track was called Higher Place, and it's just typical Journey, just what you want to hear, really. If you love Journey, that is. Castronovo was actually in the band at this point. I don't know how long he was in. I don't know if this was his first foray into the band or not, but I did notice he was in the band at this point. So, and what he sounds even more like Steve Perry than anyone. I mean, you can't.
The freaking drummer sounds more like Steve Perry.
You can't put that voice on, can you? Surely, you just sing like it. I mean, I don't know. But a few people obviously sound like Steve Perry, but obviously in his heyday, he was the one and only for me. But a brilliant track, Higher Place, probably on an underrated and not so much loved album by fans, but a great album. They did one a few years later, which weren't so good with Steve Algeri again, but I might pick something off that. But this is a great album. There you go, Higher Place, Journey. My track 1.
Cool.
Okay, track 2, guys. What you got, Jam?
Track 2, going to, I mean, this is one we had on our specific band list, but it's so good I couldn't miss it out. And this is Bruce Dickinson's return to Iron Maiden and Brave New World, which was 100 times better than anything released since probably 1988 at this point, so 12 years. And the song is Ghost of Navigator, which is probably one of my favourite ever Iron Maiden songs. Certainly, definitely one of the ones since 2000, the best song. It's just got everything about it. I love the verse, and then you think the chorus is coming in, and then the chords change, the time changes and goes into the pre. Oh, it's just brilliant. Love this song. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure I went to this tour, and I'm sure they didn't play this song. And I think they might have played it subsequently, but I couldn't believe they didn't play it at the time. I think it's the best song on the album, but it's just brilliant. But we've talked about it, so I won't talk too much. But it's a fantastic song. It's about 7 minutes long, and it's not too. A lot of the songs on this album, a lot of them have got sort of repeat the chorus a lot, which obviously Iron Maiden do more frequently these days. But this song certainly doesn't. It's just about right.
I think a lot of fans forget that when they talk about how much Iron Maiden repeat choruses or repeat musical sections of their songs. they seem to leave Brave New World out of that when they talk about this album, saying, you know, can't we go back to Brave New World? Can't we do? But really, I mean, the only thing that I think that was a lot different was the production. It was very sharp and clear, and I think that's suffered since this album. I love the production on this album, but they've been doing that sort of extended musical repeated stuff for quite a while now, since this album.
Yeah, I was listening to it because I already picked this track, so I thought I'll try and get another one in. But I was listening to a couple of them. I won't mention it obviously unless you got it. And it was a lot of repeating the choruses, and I thought I'm going to stick with Ghost of Navigator because it's such a great song. And if people might not have heard it still, possibly, so perhaps go check it out.
And also that Rock in Rio, I had the DVD. Yeah, I still got it somewhere, but them performing that at Rock in Rio, this song just makes the hair stand on the back of your neck.
Yeah, they must have included
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they didn't play it when I saw them. I'm sure they didn't, but yeah, perhaps they added it later to the set list, you know, because I think they toured the UK first on that one. So, yeah.
Great track. Love that track. What you got then, Dom?
I'm surprised at you, Lee, for commenting about the production on Brave New World. Because when I first heard the snare drum sound on Wicker Man, I almost vomited. So weak and so just it wasn't quite Saint Anger, but believe me, it wasn't fucking, you know, Martin Birch either.
I just think it had a real snap about it. And to tell you the truth, when I first heard the album, I thought it was too tinny altogether. It might be now when I hear the albums now, and they're just like the opposite. They're like too muddy, if you like, and it's sort of gone with the same producer. It's gone completely opposite.
Oh, I think it's gotten worse. Yeah,
and let's just admit it, because it's Steve Harris, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, he's got probably more to do with the production than the actual producer, and he probably says, "I want it like this." And you know, and at the end of the day, everyone's having a go at can't even remember his blooming name now, the producer.
Kevin Shirley.
Kevin Shirley. Everyone's having a go at him, including myself. And it's probably all Steve Harris. But there you go. But
I just don't, you know, I mean, I know they're loyal and stuff, but I don't understand why you just have to have the same freaking producer every album. Get some new blood in, you know, see what happens. Get like some young kid in here that's produced like some brutal metal, and get that fucking bottom heavy, really killer.
And a good
sound,
producer,
you know?
and a good producer also doesn't just press the fucking record button and wait for you to record it. He gives you ideas on what to cut.
But that's probably why Steve Harris likes Kevin Shirley, because he probably just presses the button. And Steve Harris can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I mean, you hear some of the best albums, don't you, that bands have brought out, and they always say, working with that producer, giving us ideas, saying shave this off, shave that off. You know, it's not just about pressing the button when you get a great producer.
Well, I think we've unlocked the secret of the Kevin Shirley Iron Maiden, because he won't.
We love you. We love you, Kevin Shirley. It's got nothing to do with you. We know that.
Well,
anyway. Okay.
Maybe learn the word no occasionally.
And then get the sack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Company man. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Enough about Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Well, for now. Who knows what happens to the next 9 songs.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2 for me is an overlooked album that I believe. It's Geddy Lee from Rush. His one and only solo album called My Favorite Headache. And there's some really good stuff on here. And I just never hear anybody talk about this album. It's almost like it never happened. But, you know, it's not a million miles away from modern Rush. But the songs are great. It has a little bit of a different feel, obviously, because it's not Alex and Neil playing behind him. But it's still a terrific album. The song I picked is The Present Tense. I guess it is strange for Geddy because Neil wrote all the lyrics in Rush, so he actually got to pen a few songs and sing his own lyrics, which must have been something wild for him. But definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a Rush fan, or maybe you heard it when it came out and it's like, oh, it's all right, and just never went back and listened to it. It actually is quite quality. So Geddy Lee, yeah.
You know what? You know what the problem is with a lot of these fanatical fans? They fucking hate it when these people go off and do a solo album. Look at the Bruce Dickinson albums, how good they are. But a lot of fans don't give them the time of day because it's just all about Maiden, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. But
I think they're frightened. They're frightened in case it gets too popular. I mean, apparently that's one of the reasons with, it's not the same sort of band with Stryper and Michael Sweet when he goes off and does his solo stuff. No one's really interested, but there are some people, but they're just like, oh, as long as he don't get too successful, he might not come back to Stryper. And they're like, just let them do their own thing and support it.
Yeah.
If it's good, it's good.
Agreed.
There you go. Talking about good, you'll love this one, Don. Deftones. And I'm only joking because I know you're not.
As I've said before, of all those bands in that genre, they're the least of my worries.
This is actually my favourite song from them altogether. It's Digital Bath off of White Pony. This is the really successful White Pony album that was huge for them. They took a little bit of a different direction with this, less into the sort of hardcore metal stuff they were doing. There's a bit of sampling now and again across this album, but it's mainly for me it's a metal album. But it's just they experiment a little bit more, I suppose. Chino Moreno, his usual whispery sort of vocal, but a great chorus, really strong chorus where he really hits some heights. So you can really sing actually. And this is another difference between them and the new metal, I suppose, genre, where you get a lot of these singers, I don't know, they couldn't really, it was all about that sort of certain style, wasn't it? Interesting fact about, I don't usually go into the meaning behind the song, but Digital Bath, when you actually hear it and you hear the lyrics and the way it's sung, it sounds like a real sort of sex song, like a shagging song, to tell you the truth. Lyrically, it sounds like it's about a bloke and a woman, doing the business or whatever. And apparently it's one of the band members, I think it might be Chino Moreno, was at a party in real life. And he was eyeing up some woman, and he imagined he took her upstairs and electrocuted her in the bath. And that's what it's about.
Oh,
there you go. That's a nice little story for you. So Digital Bath is about electrocuting a woman in the bath.
Right.
That you fancy, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So just a little bit of backstory about the song for you. But it talks in the lyrics, it talks about we are downstairs, we're alone and all this, and it just makes you think that way they're going to get down to it, and then it's not. It's about murder, basically.
Excellent. Cool.
There you go. Digital Bath. I'd rather these artists just say, just make your own mind up about it, or just tell you, make it a bit more simple. I don't know. Great song though, absolutely brilliant. Just a brilliant groove to it, and they're so cool. Deftones, I love them. But there you go. One of the few bands to emerge out of that period that I do still love. Okay, track 3. Where you got, Jam?
Okay, talking of questionable human beings, Marilyn Manson, and it's from the Hollywood in the Shadow of the Valley of Death album. I'm not a Marilyn Manson fan at all, by the way.
No,
this is I'm talking about in person. I'm talking about music. I just don't. I like all the imagery and stuff like that he does, and the stage shows I'm sure are brilliant. But I think he's done some awful performances. Apparently, he can't bloody sing half the time. Probably more latter. Music, some of it I can't like some of the slower stuff. This on the fight song is one of the only songs I like. A lot faster, heavier, punky. I suppose that's probably why I like it. It's definitely got some Sex Pistols about some of the verses. It does sound like I don't know if he's trying to rip it off, or whatever. And it's only a short song, 2.5 minutes. Fight song, brilliant on the dance floor if you're a rock club or whatever. And probably great live. I could see fists pumping in the air. But like I say, I'm not a big Marilyn Manson fan. I think this will be the one and only song that will probably ever make my list. But it fit in nicely at track 3, so it's in.
I remember this one. It's quite a big hit for him, I think, at the time. Yeah. I remember it all over the TV video showing all the time. But good one, mate. I'm not a Marilyn Manson fan either. Just never got on with that sort of music, No. But there you go. Okay, Don, what you got, mate? Marilyn Manson.
Just never listen to a fight song and Blur song 2 at the same time, because you'll just realize that all he did was just rip that song off and put some heavy guitars on it.
I can see that now. Yeah,
what song was that? What song was that from? Oh, song 2. Song 2. Yeah. That's quite heavy, though. That's quite heavy.
It's like a little drum beat, dee 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 dee, and then it kicks into the chorus. Anyway,
thanks for that. Good.
Yeah, good.
All right. But I actually like both those songs, so it does matter to me. That's all right. Number 3 is an album that, boy, I've listened to this album to death. It was a sleeper, I got it years ago and I just kept hearing it on shuffle. And then the more I heard it, I was just like, Jesus, this is great. This is a one-off band. It's called Supershine. And it's Doug Pinnick, singer from King's X, coupled with Bruce Franklin, the guitar player from Trouble.
Oh.
Now, you might think that sounds like a weird combination, but it's exactly how you would think. It's Trouble's kind of doomy riffs, but with his like soulful vocals over it. And the songs are great. It just works for whatever reason. I wish they would have done more, but if this is all they got, that's fine, because it is a fantastic album. I can highly recommend the entire thing. One of those albums I probably could have picked a song off in any number of songs. So yeah, Supershine. It came out on Metal Blade. Just won and disappeared, but man, it is fantastic. So if it's on, I don't know if it's on Spotify or whatever, certainly on YouTube. Check that out if you're a fan of either one of those. Even if you're not a fan of either one, it's just great. Supershine.
Very cool. Very cool. See, that's what's good about this show and all, isn't it? Like, that's the sort of thing you would think Jam's mentioned in the past, then maybe both of them bands. I don't know. Especially Trouble.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you, it? There's so much music then, even then. So there you go, that people didn't know about. Brilliant. Okay, well, I'm going to one of the best vocalists around at the moment, Jorn Londe. And obviously this just shows you how long he's been going. He's been around. Millennium is the sort of project, a one-off album. And the song is called Hourglass, off the album Hourglass. And he's teamed up with this guy called Ralph Santola. He actually died in 2018, so a few years ago, not so long ago. And this Ralph Santola, well, this album sounds nothing like it, but he's played for Deicide, Death as well, and Iced Earth. I mean, Iced Earth are really heavy as well, but this album ain't like that. It sounds like a Jorn Londe early sort of stuff that he was doing, that sort of progressive epic sort of stuff that Jorn was doing in them days. And this is just an amazing song. And the actual reason I heard this song was because of someone requested it when I first started the channel to do a reaction. Yeah, and I did it in the car back then.
Oh, car days.
Yeah, the car days, and absolutely just loved it because it just showcases everything Jorn Londe is about. Because obviously I knew about Jorn Londe, but didn't know about this, because he's done so much stuff, man, where he just not his own stuff and not the master plan stuff. He's just everywhere. He just appears everywhere. And this is a great album and a great song. Probably my best song on the album for sure. But
cool. I've got plenty of Journey's stuff, but I don't have this one.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. You'd love it.
Especially that Journey Landy.
Just listen. Journey Landy. Just have a listen to that. Just have a listen to that one, mate. This is just a culmination of everything you love about Journey Landy.
Excellent.
Excellent. So Millennium Hourglass is my track 3. Okay. Cool. Jam, what you got, mate?
Cool. Right, going for this band and group, I suppose, second and final album, and it's Slash with Slash's Snake Pit from their second album, 8 Life Grand, and it's the song Mean Bone. This is a new singer, Rod Jackson. I'm not sure I've ever heard of him afterwards. There's no Gilby Clarke, no Mike Inez, no Matt Sorum from the first album, so I don't know if Slash got rid of them all or he just wanted a change of whatever, I don't know. But I don't think it's as good as the first album. Perhaps he was starting to run out of ideas at this point. But this song, Mean Bone, is brilliant. And the opening track, which I was thinking about, having been there lately, is both staples of a Slash live show now. He plays both these songs. Mean Bones. He plays these two. Yeah, he plays a couple off the first album as well. He does obviously his Slash stuff. Does Guns N' Roses, obviously. I suppose now he's doing more. He's done quite a lot of albums now with Miles Kennedy. I guess he'll be probably filtering down some of these, but I think he'll still keep these. I think he'll perhaps filter out some of the Guns N' Roses stuff. He probably won't play much anymore, I guess. But no, this song, Mean Bones, really good. Quite a long song, 5 minutes for sort of just a standard rocker, but typical Slash, great guitar solo there. And seen them play this live on a number of occasions. I think he's played it live every time I've seen it, in fact. So it's obviously one of his favourites. Sometimes open the show with it, in fact. I think so. There you go.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I do like the fact that he goes through playing bits and pieces from, all of the bands he's done. I do think that's quite
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. If I'm going to a gig, that's the kind of thing that I would appreciate. Is not just letting these albums just die a slow death.
I'm going to see Miles in December if hopefully he can come over, and I've seen what he's playing, and because he's doing a full electric set this time, so he's playing stuff off his new album. He'll play some of the stuff off his last acoustic type album. Plus he's playing a few Alter Bridge. Plus he's even playing stuff from his first band, which I've slipped my mind now.
Fairfield 4.
Yeah, he's playing stuff off that as well. So he's doing a similar sort of thing, and he's doing a couple of Slash songs as well. So that's pretty good.
Very cool. Very cool
right.
indeed. Good. All right, what we got in, Dom?
Okay, I've got Pantera. Ooh. Now, this year they released their 5th album, which I think is quite underrated. It's probably in their catalog my 3rd favorite Pantera album, to be quite honest.
Love this album. Love it.
Sorry?
I love the album.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to throw a curveball. The same year this album came out, there was a soundtrack to a film called Heavy Metal 2000, which is an animated kind of thing. There was a heavy metal from, I think, 1981 animated film. They made a second one. And there's a track on there by Pantera that didn't make the Pantera album, but I just love this song. It's called Immortally Insane. I discovered this on their best of Reinventing Hell. The last 4 or 5 were all from soundtracks or B-sides or whatever. And that's where I first heard it, was on their compilation. But the research, and this was the first appearance of it, was on this soundtrack. One of my favorite Pantera grooves riffs of all time. It's just fantastic. Again, lesser known track that a lot of people may not know, because Heavy Metal 2000 wasn't exactly a blockbuster film.
And I think you're like me, yeah? You're like me. You like the not so much shouting, fasty sort of Pantera stuff. You like the groovy.
Yeah, this is I guess it's a groove. I would just say it's a riff, but it's not a fast, it's totally medium paced. Yeah. Just an overlooked song in the Pantera canon. I love it. So Immortally Insane, you can find it either on their best of called Reinventing Hell, which I think came out a few years after this, or obviously on the Heavy Metal 2000 soundtrack.
Yeah, I was just having a look. I've made my own Pantera rare song EP type thing, and I've got that on there, so I can have a listen to that. So.
Oh, do you? Okay, cool. Yeah,
some good stuff on that. Actually, there's quite a few cover versions. Didn't realise they'd done.
Very cool indeed.
Cat and stuff on there, yeah.
Yeah, Hole in the Sky, the badge.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
Very good indeed. Cool one, mate. After I've listened to that, I do like a bit of Pantera. So, okay, so I'm going to a band. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. They brought their debut album out. It's Westworld. This was with Tony Harnell. So he's with them still on this album. The album was called Skin and the song's called Limbo. So this was the second and last album. The actual guitar player, Mark Rill, who's a brilliant guitar player and songwriter, actually, he died. Oh God, I'm just full of joy today, and he died in 2012 of Crohn's disease at 56 years old. So.
Isn't it Mark Rill from Riot?
I don't know, mate. It might be. Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
It had like a main guy in Riot named Mark Rill. I don't know if it's the same guy.
It might be. I mean, to tell you the truth, the music ain't particularly. It's sort of not Riot sounding, if you know what I mean. But it might be.
A different one.
It could be the same guy. This is an actual ballad, really haunting. Obviously, Harnell was just amazing on it. It's just like there's like a twin lead mixed in with the guitar solo, and the guitar solo comes in and fades out towards the end, and it's just an amazing guitar solo. It's just really heartfelt and just a brilliant. When some of them, there's been a lot lately of ballads that the guitar solos really, I think they're getting better. Even these days, some of them are brilliant, and this one is just amazing. And it fades out to the end, like I said. It's just a really haunting ballad, a proper brilliant song. So check that one out. It's called Limbo, off the Skin album of Westworld. You checking that out, Dom? You checking it out, Dom?
I am. It looks like it's the same guy. Yeah, because the one from Riot died in 2012 as well. So
no, right. Okay.
You say 2012?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's the same guy. Let me just scroll down. Yeah, Westworld. Yeah.
No, it's shit, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, he was in the original Riot incarnation, which made all the great albums like Narita and stuff. So that's cool that he and Tony Harnell hooked up.
Well, let's hope it is the same person, because we don't want both of them dying, do we? That'd be a fucking
I'm pretty sure it's the same.
Anyway,
all right. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, they're brilliant. And that ballad, they do ballads really well. And obviously Tony Harnell was just brilliant at a ballad as well, you know, and in that he's fantastic. So check that one out. Okay, Jam, track 5.
Okay. Well, we've had some Bon Jovi, we've had some Iron Maiden, and we're going to another big boy, and we're going AC/DC with their Stiff Upper Lip album. I think we say this quite a lot from the 80s to now with AC/DC. Not their best album, but there's still a few good songs on there. The main track, the title track, was their first single, I believe. It might be the second single. Stiff Upper Lip, obviously, that's track 1. Didn't go with that. This track is their second single. I believe there is a video for it called Safe in New York City. Now, I reckon it must have taken them at least, 5 seconds to write this song, because there is absolutely nothing to it, pretty much. It's just got a bass and a drum, do-do-do-good, and then when they do the verses, and then the chorus is exactly the same. It just doesn't change, and it just goes, I feel safe in New York City, repeat. That's it. That is pretty much the whole song. But it's strangely catchy. It's got a brilliant song. It's a bit different to AC/DC. There's no big riff in it from Angus or anything through the song. It's a bit strange, and it's got a great guitar solo in there, and it's probably doing them a disservice. But it's weird. There's nothing to it, but it's still catchy. You still sort of want to play it. But yeah. There you go, one of AC/DC's simplest songs.
There's another song on that album, and I can't remember the name of it, but I was given a reaction to do it. It got taken down because it was AC/DC and you just can't get anywhere. But similar sort of thing to it as well. It was very similar all the way through, and I loved it. It had a real groove about it. I can't remember what the song was. But it was. I really like that as well. But it was just
Stand Still, is it?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. That was the one, and it got taken down. Well done, mate. Well done for that. And that's similar, isn't it? All the way through. Yeah. The sort of like a rock and roll thing all the way through. Very, very cool indeed.
But yeah, I'm not slagging it. It's just a very simple song, but sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah, exactly. Good one though, mate. Bit of AC/DC. That's good. Good. What you got then, Dom, for your track 5?
Okay. Underrated seems to be the theme of my list, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is Motley Crue with New Tattoo. Now, this is their 8th album, yeah. First and only with Randy Castillo, because Tommy Lee was in jail. Mike Klink produced it, who, of course, we all know did Appetite and other albums. Yeah. People tend to fucking shit on this album, and I don't understand it whatsoever. I mean, compared to Generation Swine, it's like, fucking shout at the devil. I'm not saying it's as good as the original 5 or whatever, but man, it was definitely a step in the right direction. There wasn't any funny business. There wasn't any, distorted vocals and trying to be, alternative or whatever. This was just straight out of the gate. Loved it. So the track I chose, I just love this song. It's called First Band on the Moon. Like a rock and roll cartoon, First Band on the Moon. I just love the whole vibe of the whole song. It's just a straight up riffy rocker, Motley Crue down the line. I don't know why New Tattoo isn't regarded as great. I think it's better than the stuff they did since as well. Saints of Los Angeles, I think it's a much stronger album than that. But anyway, there you go. Motley Crue, we all know them. They're actually making Motley Crue music again, which was really great in the year 2000. And First Band on the Moon.
Very cool. Got some big names out here as well, mixed up with that. Yeah. Very cool indeed. Talk about big names. Going to one that Dom's already mentioned, not from the same album, but the actual Pantera album, Reinventing the Steel. And it's the Revolution Is My Name. Brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Really fucking riff heavy, mid-paced, aggressive as always, and a fucking outstanding video to go with it, where it's them as kids, like fucking like sped up as well. They look like evil kids playing the guitar.
Really?
And man, the video is brilliant. So it's them with beards as little fucking like 6-year-olds or whatever.
Stomping around.
Oh, it's brilliant. And they look evil, like possessed or something, because they've sped it up and they're fucking like but it's a brilliant song. And like I'm with you on the album. You know, this album is just absolutely fantastic. I think it's sort of done more of that groovy southern feel and sort of slowed it down a little bit. Not so much of this fucking thrashy and just shouting business. It was,
maybe that's why people don't take it as much. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I love the album. I think it's really great. I mean, it could be maybe my best one after Far Beyond Driven, I reckon. Yeah, for sure. So brilliant. So that's it. Pantera, Revolution is my name. Check the video out, as you've both heard the song.
Check it out. So, yeah.
Cool. Yes. This is when I was looking at not having Bon Jovi as number one. This is when I was rejigging it. I was going to have Goddamn Electric at track 2, and then I would have put Maiden like later, and then had something at number 1. But I thought, no, I'll stick with it. I'll stick with Bon Jovi. So there you go. I didn't consider it. Cool. Track 6. Right. This is a ballad, but not from who you think's doing a ballad, because you don't really hear of many of these. And that is Halloween from The Dark Ride. Brilliant album cover if you haven't seen it. Sort of black and white with obviously the jack-o'-lantern, what they call him, something. Anyway, he's on the front. This is very much a darker, heavier album for Halloween, apart from this song. And the song is called If I Could Fly. And it's just a proper ballad because it's piano driven. It starts with the piano, believe it or not. But it's a power ballad still gone, but it's piano driven throughout the song. Very sing-alongable. You know, I think when I saw them a couple of years ago, they played this song. There's a couple of good songs on there. Mr. Torture's on this album as well, which is pretty good. That's an earlier track, so I can mention that. They've done a couple of brilliant soft songs, Halloween, and there's another one on a later album, which I won't mention, but that's really good as well, which they always play like. Oh no, sorry, it might have been Master of the Rings. Yeah, it was on. Oh, what's it called? Anyway, that was a great ballad as well. That's on Master of the Rings. And
I mean, it all started from that tail wasn't right on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But I've actually been recommended this album by Halloween fans as the one that I would like, because it's less of that happy Halloween sound. Yes. So it's a darker. The name of the album is The Dark Ride, and apparently it's a lot darker and heavier. So I would apparently like this one.
You'd love this song as well, If I Could Fly. Yeah. There you go. Andy Darris, of course, on vocals at the moment. Very cool
indeed. And to tell you the truth, I'm not going to upset any. I might upset some people saying this, I don't know. But I've noticed some flaws, and I know we're not talking about it in that latest Halloween album. That the longer I've been with it, it's I don't know. At first I was like, yeah, this is very cool, this album. And it hasn't stuck with me at all. I think the production is awful. The guitars, you can't really hear them. It's a bit like the Maiden situation with the 3 guitars, and you can't hear what's going on. And I don't know. When I first heard it, I thought, oh yeah, this is good. But I see some faults in that new Halloween album there. You know, it's just me, but just like to upset people.
For all those people that went out and bought it on your recommendation.
Listen,
now you're coming back and saying,
mate,
sorry.
I tell you, it does.
Selling out your hard-earned money.
Yeah. The more time,
I thought it was great.
You know exactly what I mean. The more time you spend with music, they either drop off, or some albums I thought were actually all right. And now I'm thinking, fucking, that is, the hidden melodies coming out, and they grow and grow and grow.
It's like this one, new Wild Arts album. I said to Dom, I listened to it the first 2 times. I thought, I don't like it. It's a bit shouty and a bit more. And now I love it. Absolutely brilliant. 3 or 4 listens in, and it's just one of their best ones at the moment. Yeah. Fantastic. There you go.
Anyway, I know we're upset Halloween fans. I'll go on to my. Is it my choice now, or is it Dom?
No, it's mine.
Here you go.
Okay. I've got a band that, as we talked about a bit, but not for a while. DAD. An album called Everything Glows, which might be at least my second favorite album of theirs, I'd say. It's their 7th album, believe it or not. So that's a band that most people only know one track of and think they just disappeared somewhere. Well, they didn't. They kept making records, but just, they didn't. I don't think they had a major label distribution worldwide anymore. So they were just Europe, and America didn't get a look in or anything. So anyway, this track is called Evil Twin, and I love it. It's just kind of the year. I keep going back to that kind of riffy, stonesy kind of rock, but more hard rock.
Yeah.
But just that, that kind of thing that makes me strut around my living room.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Just love it. I just love a fucking sleazy booty shaking groove. So
bit of a boogie.
Sorry?
A bit of a boogie.
Yeah, it's a bit of a boogie, but it's not quite. It's not a.
What the fuck's a boogie? What's a bolgie? What's a bolgie? That's how you fucking say it.
A bolgie? You're a bolgie, mate. No. Boogie.
Boogie.
Yeah, but it's not a southern boogie. So don't get me wrong. It's like a I don't know, whatever, another kind of boogie. But yeah, it's great. I can really recommend DAD. Everything Glows. If you remember No Fuel for the Pilgrims and all that stuff, and you want to check something else out from their discography, definitely put this one on. Quite good.
There's only one song I know of DAD, and that's Sleeping
On
My Day Away. Yeah, I remember that one.
I think most people don't know that they just never quit and just went on and on and on,
The whole album, that first album is the only one I've got. I must admit, the whole album, that's good. I love that. Jihad and all that as well. Lots of great songs.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. Very good. I'm going to Maiden. So off the Brave New World album, we've already spoken about it. It is a long song, believe it or not. 9 minutes and 21 seconds.
Unprecedented for me.
In fact, that's quite a short one there.
Yeah, it's these days.
A song called Dream of Mirrors, which is
a
really cool song. It's sort of a slow paced sort of song. Very cool indeed. I love the whole album actually. It's just, I just think there's more to Maiden now, like we've already spoken about. I think Brave New World is a lot closer than people think is what you're getting now. It was the excitement of having Bruce back as well, I suppose, wasn't it? But I love the album, and I love a lot of the stuff they've done since. But Dream of Mirrors is almost, people had a bit of a go. I saw someone have a go on YouTube that it was a bit of a rip-off of I Dream in Infrared from Rage for Order. And there's some similar things to it, even lyrically as well. But I don't know. I didn't think about that until this guy said it. And then when someone says it, then you start thinking about it, don't you?
Well, it's like song 2. All I can hear is song 2 now.
Exactly.
My song, yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not sure about that. I mean, I think that bands just stumble across stuff, and sometimes, and it sounds like something else. I don't know. Probably because it's got Dream in the title. It's a slow paced. It was similar sort of band a while ago when they're not exactly the same, but you know what I mean. But Dream of Mirrors, Maiden off of Brave New World. There you go.
Cool.
All right. Next. What you got, guys?
Yeah. One of my mainstays, and as I say, they'll probably be on every time they've released an album, and it's going to be Pearl Jam from the Binaural album. As we've been saying, not great albums anymore. Probably some good songs on there, some great songs on there called Breakfall, Nothing As It Seems, which is a slower one, which were earlier tracks. But I'm going for Insignificance, not to be confused with Indifference. Obviously, that's on an early different album. It's called Insignificance. It's got a bit of a slower start, and it's one of those songs a bit like Rearview Mirror, where it builds up to the chorus, and still play it live now. But yeah, the album's not one of their best. In fact, yeah, I don't like a lot of songs on it, but the three I mentioned are pretty good, and this is one of the better ones, Insignificance. So it's straight on. I think released as a single as well, so I think there might even be a video for it. So they certainly play it live, and up until recently they've been playing it. I think they might have even done it when I saw them the once.
Yeah, again, a great example of why the rules in this game sometimes, not a great album, but it's about the tracks, isn't it? So there you go.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. What you got then, Dom?
Excellent. All right.
You got
What I
Pearl Jam? You got Pearl Jam?
Yeah. Oh my God, we match. I don't. I've got a guy that's taking a lot of shit on this channel, and I feel kind of bad.
Ken Sampling. Ken Sampling.
Ken Sampling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. No. Sammy Hagar.
He don't take a lot of shit. What are you talking
He
about?
does. He does.
All right.
We always talk about how we prefer Van Halen to Van Hagar and all that kind of stuff. I mean, and that doesn't change. I do like him solo. I liked him before he joined Van Halen. And since he's left Van Halen, he's made some very good records. This one is called 1013, which I discovered is his birth date, because it's not the 13th album, it's his 12th album. But 1013 is his
yeah, because you do it weird out in America.
Yeah.
You do it around the wrong way, don't you?
Of course, it's the wrong way. Yes, you're right. No, I do understand that it makes more sense the way that I live now. But so this is a title track, 1013. But it's a great song. But one of the reasons I put this on here is because, when you're at a party, right? Or when you're like celebrating somebody's birthday.
Fucking hell, that was like 30 years ago.
Well, when you're celebrating somebody's birthday and you only have a few choices. You've got the Beatles' Happy Birthday, which definitely, this one isn't putting on. And then you've got Stevie Wonder, Happy Birthday, which is kind of lame as well. I like Stevie Wonder, but definitely not his best song. I've got the hard rock birthday song for you, 1013 by Sammy Hagar. The chorus is, "It's your birthday." And it's a great riffy rocker. So the next time you're around some rockers and it's somebody's birthday and you're at a loss of what to play, I got your back. This is the one.
Yeah, cool.
Very cool.
Number 1013, track 7. You'll love it.
Oh, it sounds good, actually. And I love Sammy Hagar, by the way, just let everyone know. All right. Okay. You're
not going to get an interview with him, please. Calm down.
There's no mistaking he's a better vocalist than David Lee Roth. Technically, he's a better vocalist, isn't he?
And he's lasted a lot longer as well.
Yes.
He sounds great at 70.
Yes.
Great. Like time has stopped.
Yeah, it is weird.
Amazing.
It is weird. He has got a good voice. Okay, but he hasn't got a good voice as this next person, and that's Dio. So off of the Magica album, As Long As It's Not About Love. Just
that was a car reaction too, wasn't it?
It was. It definitely was. And why did you even say that? That means it was a reaction, which means I hadn't heard this song.
Yeah.
That's why I remember it, because I started watching your videos and this one came and I'm like, what the fuck? He's talking about Korn is the best album of the 90 whatever, and then he's never even heard Dio Magica. Are you fucking kidding me?
The videos are coming back to haunt you.
Who is this guy?
Anyway,
probably wearing a Dio shirt as well.
It's true.
I've never heard this before.
It's true. It's true. I lost my way, as many people who watch All Killer will know. I lost my way.
I'm only taking the piss. We love you.
But the worst thing is I lost my way with Dio as well. I mean, how bad is that? So
you hadn't even heard Strange Highways, had you?
No. So all them albums. I mean, I think it was after
Dehumanizer.
No. Sorry, I think it was after the Dio album. What was the one?
Dream Evil.
Yes, and I didn't. I thought at the time I was obviously comparing to Last in Line and Holy Diver. Just thinking, the same. And then you realise there's some gems like every band in their catalogue that you missed. But this is a very cool song. It's got a concept album, Ronnie James Dio's concept album, Magica. Do Me ballad, very dark, sad, beautiful as well. Like really a touching song, really absolutely brilliant. And of course, with Ronnie Dio's vocals, I mean, he just didn't miss a step, did he? No matter how, and I'm going to say it now, sort of average some of these albums were. I would definitely say they weren't the best, but I don't know, his voice just would elevate a song from a 3 out of 10 to a 7. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So So as long as it's not about love, just a brilliant. I think it's quite a long song as well, off of Magica, Dio. There you go. All
I
right.
saw him on this tour and he did the whole album. That's a whole.
Did you like that?
Listen, I'd seen him so many times. It was kind of refreshing, and I respect him so much. I'm like, okay, I'll sit and listen to this for the next 60 minutes. Yeah. But no, it was good. And support was Doro Pesch, who I'd never seen, and Yngwie Malmsteen, who I'd never seen. So it was a good night out.
Not bad, yeah.
He didn't do that like hours worth of narration at the end of the like he does on the album.
What?
There's like a talking part in there that goes on for about half an hour at the end of the album. He didn't.
Right. No, we didn't get that. No.
No, that's it. Dio. I had to get Dio in tonight. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Track 8, guys. What you got?
Okay, I'm going to in my opinion, the best album of 2000, and a lot of people's will be. This is Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. People do say game changing. I mean, it was a game changer. Certainly, nothing sounded like this when this came out. I remember I was sort of similar to Lee. I wasn't particularly listening to as much metal between sort of 97 to this point. I still wasn't listening to bloody pop music or anything, but I perhaps wasn't buying so much, not listening to so much, because the standard probably wasn't quite there either. And then this came out, and I remember I was in HMV. You remember when you used to go to a record shop and they had all the sections of all the CDs of different genres and all that, and I looked through the metal one, and they just had lots of stuff for this Linkin Park, and I never heard anything off it. For some reason, I just suddenly thought, I'm going to buy that, because it's obviously big advertising, and I thought, I'm going to listen to that, and yeah, it just blew me away. I loved it. I mean, it's really heavy. If you think about Linkin Park, you don't think they're heavy. This album is heavy.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I could have picked any song off it. I would have liked to have Points of Authority, which is probably because I've heard some of the ones a lot now, but Points of Authority is one of my favourite ones, which is an earlier track. Couldn't have that, so I've gone with In the End, which is a big one. But you know, like I say, it's just where it's slotted in really. In the End, yeah, great emotional sort of singing that the late Chester used to do, and it's sad that he's gone. But yeah. I like Linkin Park. I mean, the album after was really good, and then they sort of tailed off and then did that awful one where it's don't know what that was at all later in their catalogue, and then they came back a bit towards the end with stuff. But yeah, great album, Hybrid Theory. In the End,
I remember when this came out, and I think the band took a bit of stick saying whether it was a rumor, they was like a manufactured band, and they took musicians. A bit like these fucking shitty programs you watch now, where the singers where the program puts the band together out, you know. And apparently they were a bit like that. I don't know if that's true or not, or they were. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that was a rumor at the time. But I fell in love with this album, by the way. But I don't know. I think myself, I overplayed it. I've got some people that I knew that I don't like particularly now that overplayed it, and it reminds me of them as well. You know, that sort of thing. It's just, I don't know, it sort of brings back memories that I want to forget about, I suppose. And you connect music sometimes, don't you, to parts of your life?
Yeah,
you know, definitely. I mean, it reminds you of whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's sort of, and this reminds me of someone, which I don't want to go into, obviously, but you know,
it's all good times for me. This is when I started getting right back into listening to stuff and buying stuff. So it's like right at the beginning of how I am now, I guess, listening to getting back into it. So
and I actually liked the rap part of it at the beginning, and then when it went on, when Linkin Park went on, I could have just done with Chester Bennington because I thought he was such a brilliant singer. I would have liked him to do something similar to the band, but just him singing. And I know it wouldn't have been Linkin Park because that's what Linkin Park were all about. They're about the rap and the metal. But I just think he was such a talent. And I don't think much of the guys rapping either, which was didn't help. But, you know, I'm not a big rap fan, but you could tell the difference between a good one and a bad one. You know, if you know what I mean. I'm probably going to get a lot of stick for that one now and all. There you go. I know they're a big band, but in my opinion, isn't it? Dom, you got Linkin Park?
I don't. No, I've got David Coverdale.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell, nice.
Sorry. Only David Coverdale, you know, button in 2000. This is his album, Into the Light, third solo album for him. I think it has a reputation of being a bit more mellow than Whitesnake, and it probably is, I guess. There's definitely some rockers on here, though. There's not a whole lot of guitar electronics and stuff because he's always had these really flashy guitar players in Whitesnake. So it's a bit more bare bones rock, I guess. But it's a rock album. It's not like, he's not retiring in the corner with an acoustic guitar or anything. This song is called Living on Love. And as I said, it's great. Got a great riff. Really, I love Coverdale. Obviously, his voice isn't what it is, or these days isn't what it was back then. I think you're even a bit more like Slighted is probably the last album you like his voice or something there, Lee. You mentioned that he kind of, I still like it all the way up until now. And I still think he's got the goods. It's only the past maybe 15 years or so that it's kind of run downhill for me personally. But anyway, a great album. Again, probably not a lot of people have heard this album. I think it was an independent release, so it didn't have major label distribution. And you can't really blame the labels because people were buying Linkin Park. Who cares about David Coverdale? You know what I mean? I mean, it's it's just the truth. Yeah.
It's come around again, though, mate, isn't it? It's all come around again.
New music and new bands and stuff always create more excitement in the music industry. It's just always happened. Yeah. So, but David's still over there trying to make it work. So I would definitely recommend this album, Into the Light, if you like Whitesnake and wasn't aware that he had an album in 2000. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. He's another one of them people, isn't he? I mean, he probably had a little bit more money than the rest of these bands to stick around. You know what I mean? But glad he did because I mean they're quite a big name there, aren't they? I mean, they played Download a few years ago, and I think they were maybe second to last on the headline stage or something like that. So I mean, that's quite a big slot in it still these days for a band from the 80s. So there you go, great one, mate. Okay, so I'm going on to a band. It's a debut album. You might not have heard of these guys. Adrian Dale, they're called. That's one word. It's not a person. Adrian Dale. So Adrian and then Gale, one word.
Name for a band.
L-E. Oh, like a gale of wind, like that kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Was it just my English fucking language or something? What was I saying?
Who knows what you were saying? Gowl. Gowl, I think it was.
Adrian Dale. Is that right?
Gala? Move on.
Anyway, Adrian Dale are they're actually a Christian heavy rock band. And I heard this album. I actually heard this album way back when it came out. I did. Yes. Really impressive it because it brought back probably some of those, 80s feels for sure. And the album's called Fuel the Fire and the song's called Mission Man. And it's a brilliant metal riff. They are American, but it does sound like American melodic hard rock. The singer actually reminds me of Jeff Keith from Tesla. So he's got that. And that you might have heard of this band. I don't know. They were another Christian band, but way back before of Guardian. I don't know if they were sort of on the cusp, but they weren't like Striper, obviously, but they were on the second level, I suppose, of those bands.
I've only heard of them because of you. Yes, I have heard of them now.
Yes, exactly. And no matter how you've heard of them, you've heard of them. And the singer, great singer, Jamie Howe, his name is, and like I said, he's got a voice like a bit like Jeff Keith, that sort of real rocking, a bit of rasp in there. And this band weren't too dissimilar to them either. They were sort of, they'd done some rocking riffs and some great tracks. So Adrian Dale, Mission Man, Adrian Galley, Adrian Gow, Adrian Gall, Adrian Gow.
Gow. Adrian Gow.
Adrian Gow.
Gow. I actually love it, to be honest. I'm not. I may like take the piss, but I love that accent. I do.
Thanks. Boogie. Thank you very much. Boogie. How do you say it? Right. Okay. Track 9, guys. The penultimate track. What you got?
Get in there. Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of old rockers today, haven't we? And I'm going to add another one to it. This is one for Mark here. I'm sure he'll have it on his list. And that's Iommi with his stylized Iommi. It's not Tony Iommi, it's Iommi. And it's his album, and all the songs have got guest vocalists.
I remember
this one.
I remember this album. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. I was surprised you guys hadn't picked something off it. Yeah, I suppose
I missed it. I fucking missed it, I think. But I remember
right.
it. I had it. I actually had the album. Yeah.
So I've gone with, obviously, track 9 is Who's Fooling Who? And this is with Ozzy and Bill Ward. So this is practically Black Sabbath. And this track is brilliant. It is classic Black Sabbath circa the 70s, pretty much. It's not Black Sabbath of modern era with Ozzy just singing over it. It sounds like a classic 70s Black Sabbath song. Starts with a bell and everything. Slow. It's great. It's brilliant. It's quite long. It's about 7 minutes long, and it finishes. I mean, the only thing I say it's slightly more modern is a guitar solo, and it sounds like a modern guitar solo in it, I guess, if you'd say it that way. But it's got all the feel of a 70s song, and Ozzy sounds really good on it. I mean, this album, if nobody's heard it, it's got Henry Rollins on one song. It's got Dave Grohl, Phil Anselmo, Serge Tankian, Billy Corgan, Ian Astbury, Pete Steele, late Pete Steele, and I won't mention the last song in case you've got it. That's
Don't have it.
Okay, well, Billy Idol's on the last one, so there you go.
Hold on, you haven't been sexist, are you? I'm sure Skunk and Nancy Bird was on this album.
Oh yeah, sorry, Skin. Yes.
Oh, see. I'll tell you, I apologise, viewers, for Jan. The only person he didn't mention was the woman.
Wow.
Oh, black woman. Sorry.
Even. And a lesbian as well. I mean,
I could have covered all my bases there, couldn't I?
You could have ticked every box in one word, one sentence.
That wasn't intentional. Sorry.
I love how Lee Skunk and Nancy Bird. I bet she fucking loves that.
Oh yeah. I bet you're in more trouble than me.
That's another interview I get.
Skunk and Nancy.
It's another interview I might as well cross off my list.
Yeah, no, that is not going to happen. Absolutely not. No way.
Brilliant. Okay, sorry, Jan. I was waiting for you to say it, and I thought he's going to miss it. He's going to fucking miss it.
Yeah.
Actually, the second song, I saw Henry Rollins because the song's called. I saw the song's called Meat. It's really short, and I was reading down. I just missed it.
Oh fucking hell!
Oh man,
that's all my left wing millennials gone.
That's it.
Have you got any? I don't think
we don't talk politics on the show. No way.
No, exactly. Right. Okay.
I'm out of here.
All right, Dom. What you got, mate?
Okay. Well, number 9, coincidentally, Jeff Keith.
Oh.
Bar 7 is the band.
Yeah.
Jeff Keith and Tommy Skiach, I believe.
Oh, hold on.
From Tesla.
No, it's actually, you ready? Because I got told about this.
Okay, good. Bring it on.
It's actually Skio.
Skio.
So you don't pronounce the C and the H. It's just.
All right, cool.
There you go.
Good to know. So anyway, Jeff Keith and Tommy Skiach.
I just fucking knew you was going to do it. But
they had a band with Journey over there. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So this is Bar 7. I'm not going to say it's it's not Psychotics Up or anything, but there's some good tunes. Again, this is how this show is great. About half of it I really like. It's a bit more laid back than probably Tesla, but there's still, Jeff Keith is singing. So, I mean, it's still going to sound like Tesla. And this song in particular called All Natural, it's right in their canon of love song, What You Give, all that great, like mid-tempo ballady songs that they've done in their career. This can just fit right in there. Really great song. Catchy as hell. I mean, in a different world, this would be a single. Like this would be like a popular song you would hear on MTV in 1989 or whatever. But it doesn't sound dated. But I mean, it's just, people were more into this kind of music. Just a great tune, especially for you, Lee. If you haven't heard this, All Natural, I think you'd really, really like it.
I have actually heard some Bar 7 stuff a long time ago, and I can't remember it. I can remember Jeff Keith, and I can remember, like you said, once you hear his voice, it just. How can you not think of Tesla?
Right.
It's just.
I mean, as I said, it's not great radio controversy, but There's some really good tunes. So yeah, this one especially, throw that on and see if you like it. But just a little trivia. I think the band before they picked Bar 7, they were called Sofa King. So, but if you say it fast, it's so fucking, obviously.
Bar 7's better.
Yeah.
The good thing about bands like this and Tesla, actually, you're saying about it, you know, it doesn't sound like 8, but Tesla have always had that. I mean, they still play. They still that last song they brought out just not so long ago. It's like, you know, they was very sort of 70-ish sounding when anyway, that rock and roll feel. And I think that can go on forever. They never sound dated because they just always sound that sort of same. Even they didn't even sound 80s, did they? In the 80s, they didn't sound 80s. So there you go. Okay, yeah, great choice, mate. Brilliant. I'm gonna make my mate Mark Clower happy here. I'm going to Cornerstone. The song Fooled. Oh God, I'm saying, how am I saying that? Is that right? FOOLED. Fooled.
Of course it is, Lee.
Yeah.
Thanks. And this is actually called Arrival as well, this album, the same as the Journey album. And of course, Doogie White is on
Doogie.
Very cool riff here with piano sort of running through the whole song, which is very cool indeed. Very catchy, almost as because of course Doogie also sang for Rainbow, and it has that rainbow sort of feel to this as well. So they're a very good band, actually. Cornerstone. They are very stuck in the classic late 70s classic heavy rock. So if you like that Rainbow,
shame. I just hate that sound.
Yeah. if you like that sort of sound, you'll probably love Cornerstone. They're a great band. So there you go. I don't think they're going anymore. I don't know if they used other vocalists later on. I'm not really sure. My mate Mark can comment. But Mark, I've got the title, mate, as well. Yes, there you go. Brilliant. Okay, track 10, guys. We're up to track 10.
Track 10. Right, last track. I'm going to pick a band that you said you were going to try and not have, but I've gone with him because I do like some of their songs. I know they're not fashionable anymore, but it's Limp Bizkit from Chocolate Starfish album, and it's a song, Take a Look Around, which was from the Mission Impossible film. So it's got that Mission Impossible bit through it, which I really like. I mean, I like this song. I love Break Stuff on the last album, which didn't get in my list, but I love that song. This song's just, there is some good stuff in here. Forget about Rolling, obviously, but there's some other good songs on this album. My Generation, My Way. I wouldn't listen to it now particularly, but I've always liked rap metal, so I'm not going to disown. I'd never listened to it, but this song's good. I say Mission Impossible, small, quite a cool groove through it, and then it gets really heavy on the chorus, and it's just a good song to. Does it finish the album? I think it might do, but it's a good song. I like it.
I think it's one of the best for me. I mean, I don't like it, but I think out of those songs they brought out at the time, I think this was probably one of the best ones off that album for sure. I mean, that one you mentioned,
My Way.
Yeah, that one on the motorbikes, isn't it? On the video, they're like got a green screen. They're meant to do it. It's meant to look bad, basically, but awful. But
My Way on the Highway will be that one, won't it?
Yeah, Take a Look Around ain't too bad for a Limp Bizkit song. There you go.
Oh, they've got a new song out today, actually, so I expect you'll be reviewing that straight away.
What you got for number 10, mate? What you got? Hold on, it's going to be Limp Bizkit, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm afraid we've mentioned. No, not for me. Okay, so number 10 for me is Blaze Bayley, his first solo album after the Maiden journey, we'll say, after the Maiden experience. His first 3 albums, he was calling the band Blaze. So officially, this is just called Blaze.
Yeah.
The album is called Silicon Messiah, and man, it is really good. It is everything those Maiden albums aren't. It's it doesn't sound like Wolfsbane either.
Yeah.
It's more Sabbathy, I would say. Maybe like Tony Martin era Sabbath. Really good mid-tempo, just metal, but not, prog metal, not, whatever metal. It's just straight up, and it matches his voice so much better than him trying to sing the epics and stuff. Just just a terrific album. I didn't know, I didn't listen to this album in 2000, I'll admit. I heard a Blaze album about, a Blaze Bailey album about 6 or 7 years ago that I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty good. So I went back and got his catalog then, and boy, Silicon Messiah really stands out. I was really surprised because he always seems to be, I don't know, either too fast for me or too proggy or whatever. I did like Wolfsbane quite a bit. I wish he would do kind of just a bare bones rock and roll album like this, but this is definitely metal, commercial metal. Really good, really good. The song I chose is Stare at the Sun, sorry, number 10. It's the closer, and it's a bit longer, but it's more of a, doomy epic rather than a proggy epic. So yeah, I think he really just, we've said it before, when these singers get released from these bands and it's been the kind of a bad experience, they really come out with something to prove, and this is definitely one of them. So there you go.
Amazing how many times that happens, isn't it? It happens a lot.
Yeah,
it does, really does. Okay. I'm going to, I've had a singer on here already, the same singer, but his solo album. So Yawn Londe.
Of course.
The song is called Abyss of Evil from the Starfire album. So this was his debut album.
Oh, wow.
And this wasn't, he had immediately near enough. The next album was like amazing compared to this one. This was like, there's a few covers on here as well. He did a cover of Edge of the Blade, Journey on here, and a couple of others. And it just wasn't, it was him finding his feet, if you like. But this song, he would have just stuck on the next few albums as well. Abyss of Evil. So heavy, chuggy, epic, as you'd expect from Yawn Londe. Sort of medium pace track, of course. It's just a brilliant song. And like I said, maybe not from the best album, because it was his debut album. Some artists and bands hit it out of the park on the debut, don't they? But I'm sort of happier when they get better. Do you know what I mean? You can't stand it when they just do. Look at Guns N' Roses, look what they did. Yeah. And then it just was all sort of downhill from there. And there's other bands that have done the same thing. But Yawn's just got better and better. So Abyss of Evil off of Starfire, his debut album. Brilliant. Wow. Check that one out as well. And obviously the Millennium Hourglass one. You'll love both of them, Dom, if you haven't heard them.
Cool. Yeah, I've got, as I said, I've got plenty of Jorn. I mean, he only has about 53 albums, but various projects and stuff.
Exactly.
I don't think I have either one of those, ironically. So
yeah, great. Actually, great tracks. Okay, we round the houses for the honourable mentions. If you got any jam today?
3.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I had some others I was going to mention, but you've already mentioned the album, so there's no point me mentioning them again. But Disturbed first album. I know you don't like the Disturbed, but I quite like him. I don't like his singing. You don't like his singing.
You want to sleep there, Dom? You're all right.
Sound with the Sickness, of course. Great song. And I like the cover version of Shout as well, actually, which is Human League. No,
Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears. That's one.
Oh God, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, it's good actually. Killswitch Engage debut album, but it wasn't particularly well produced, and they've re-recorded quite a few of the songs which were later released, I think. So I'm not really. I love Killswitch Engage, and they'll definitely be on later, but nothing off that. And the only other one was Rage Against the Machine did Renegades, which was cover versions, and there's a few good songs on there, but I was trying to avoid putting cover versions on. I nearly had Kick Out the Jams and Can I Just Kill a Man, which is Cypress Hill, isn't it? I think I nearly put that on there at one point, but I thought I'll avoid them if I can. So that was it for me.
Cool. Dom, what you got?
Well, I think we said before, even though I stand by my list in the 90s, they're just, it was almost easier to do those because there wasn't much variety. But finally, 2000 exploded. So, it's quite a few contenders that I didn't mention. Armored Saint, Revelation, which was their kind of comeback album, their first one since Symbol of Salvation. What else do we have? Halford Resurrection, which is kind of his return to metal after being with Trent Reznor and all that kind of stuff. Very well regarded album, Resurrection. People love that album. Just couldn't find any room for it, unfortunately. John Sykes had Nuclear Cowboy. Again, very strong John Sykes album, but I had talked about him a few times in the past. Kip Winger, second solo album, Songs from the Ocean Floor. Again, fantastic. Can't say enough about it, but again, he's in every fucking list of mine. So, but if you want to hear some great songwriting, they definitely check out Kip Winger, Songs from the Ocean Floor. And King Diamond had a great record called House of God. Still going, King Diamond. I think the only other one I'll mention, just because a show really isn't a show with Dominic if I don't mention it. Enough's Enough had their album 10, which, believe it or not, was their 10th album. But I've given them lots of exposure, so but definitely a strong album, 10. So there you go. I'll leave it at that.
Very cool. I'm just trying to look at for some stuff that hasn't been mentioned. So Demons and Wizards with John Schaefer and the guy out of is it Greenbrick? What band's he in? Another one of these
Dragon Force, maybe?
one of them bands. Anyway, they're not going anymore, obviously. But that was quite a good album. But it's his vocals. I'm not so sure. I'd rather have that heavy riffing with John Schaefer does with Matt Barlow or Stu Block singing for Ice Earth. Black Label Society had another album out. It's like one every month they've had out. Yeah. Stronger Than Death, it was called. Hammerfall Renegade was out. And I think they've remade this album, and I reacted to a song the other day that was actually not even remastered. Yeah. I think they've recorded the whole thing.
Remixed or something. They've like re-recorded some drums and things like that.
Yeah, they've done that. Sounded brilliant, to tell you the truth. That song, I can't remember what the song's called now. It's off this album anyway, and they've redone the whole album. I don't know if it was one of their strongest albums, but they've redone the whole lot. Nevermore. Now, I've heard a couple of tracks because I reacted to them and I quite liked them. They're a progressive, quite heavy band. They're dead heart in a dead world out. I think the guy, he passed away as well. I'm just a passing away man today. And Overkill had Bloodletting out. Rob Rock. Now, he's a great singer. I love Rob Rock. He had Rage of Creation out. He's a Christian singer. But he's been in other bands as well that ain't Christians before. Driver, I don't know if you remember the Driver album in the 80s. That was quite a no. Okay, all right, I'll shut up then. But he's really heavy on his solo albums, like really heavy, or even near enough Virgin on Thrash. But obviously really sings clean, great voice. Known as the voice of melodic metal. That's his actual title. I don't know if he gave it to him himself. But
probably.
Pretty Maids have Carp DM out. They're always consistent. Axel Rudy Pell had another album out. Of course he did. The Masquerade Ball. Jolene Turner had The Holy Man out. I haven't heard that before. I was ready to investigate it, but didn't have to get that far because I haven't got all the time in the world to listen to all these albums. And I'm not even going to pronounce that last one because I don't know how to say it. So that was quite good as well.
Give it a try. Please give it a try.
Impelleretti, is it?
Oh yeah, you did it.
Impelleteri.
Impelleteri. That's right.
Really like fast.
Chris Impelleteri.
He's a motherfucking fast. He can play like mental fast.
Yeah.
Not always for me, that sort of stuff, but some of his songs are really good. But I just, you know what I'm like with guitaring. I want it to be memorable, don't I? I just don't want it to go, you know, I'm not like into that sort of stuff.
Right.
But the songs are really good. A lot of them. Yeah. Some of them are
it depends on what singer he has as well, but you know.
It does. But sometimes it's all about, look how fast I'm going to play this guitar throughout this song. And, you know, it's a little
Watch me masturbate very fast.
Exactly. It's a bit like Yngwie Malmsteen, isn't it? When he gets a decent singer and songwriter with him, he can make a decent song. When he doesn't, not so much. Rob Rock has sang on a lot of his stuff as well.
Yngwie.
Yeah.
Oh,
no. Impelleteri.
Impelleteri. Okay.
Whatever. It's been great having you on, guys. We've got 2001 to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Have you had a look, Jam? Have you had a look, Jam? Because Jam usually, because we're quite easy with what Jam tells us, when he tells us the rules.
Well, we don't have a choice.
Well, no, we get told we're out. We get told we're not going to play anymore if we disagree. So, have you had a look if it's going to be 10, 11, or 12, or 6? Or
I've got 12.
Oh, fucking hell.
Whoa! Fuck, that
Which
came
I've
out of
never-
nowhere.
Which I've never fucking asked.
But go on, we'll see how you go. If you guys want to do 10, you can do. Let's see how you go, and then we'll decide. But yeah, I could do 12 this year, put it that way. I think it'll probably be 12 from now on, but we'll see.
Right, I'm going to go for
Wow.
12. I'm going to go for 12 then, see how I get on. I think Dom's
2001 is a magic year. Back to 12.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think Dom could have done fucking 20 each year, to say the truth, but but there you go.
Well, most albums don't have 20 tracks, Lee, but I understand what you mean.
Thank you very much for that, mate.
I will take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Well, we
worries. No
probably
worries.
could have done 12 every year, but it's just quality, isn't it? You end up finding scrabbling around, and you got a choice of 2 songs or something, and you don't
Agreed.
know them, sort of thing. So we're just
I
trying
was
to keep
happy
it
with 10,
good.
so I don't know. I was happy with 10.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Enough
Oh,
arguing in front of our fans.
Yes,
Can you just-
exactly. And keep joining in with the comments. Obviously, we love it.
Yeah.
And of course, me and Dom apologise for Jam's behaviour on this episode.
Oh,
I love Skin.
I could have been so much worse, man. Come on. Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park, and I kept my mouth shut. I should get a medal.
you did fall asleep on Disturbed. That was a bit out of order.
Yeah, a bit out.
Well, it was only an honorable mention, so I thought,
Yeah.
I've got to keep the younger viewers watching, haven't I?
This is true.
you do, man.
This is true, man.
Not that I'm
Agreed.
young, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, then what? All them younger viewers who's just upset. All the millennials.
Oh yeah,
None of them watch
that
anyway.
word out of Skunk and Nancy. Yeah.
They don't watch it. Don't worry about that.
All right, thanks, guys. Brilliant as usual.
All right.
So much fun. See you for 2001.
All right. See y'all.
Cheers.